When you watch videos or read websites about land navigation, you'll see there's a big concentration on using a compass. You know, on my channel I have lots of videos showing you how to do various things with a compass. And the reason for that is it's really important that you know how to use a compass and you can do it well. But let's keep this in the real world. So I'll ask you a question. When you go out walking with your family or your friends, how often do you actually use your compass? Not very often. You know, when I go out for a day's walk, I hardly ever use a compass. Don't misunderstand that. I do know how to use a compass, but normally it's simply not needed, you know, unless I'm walking in reduced visibility like at night time or in thick fog, and then I use my compass all the time. So you do need to be able to use a compass, but remember that most of the time a compass should be seen as an aid to navigation because you navigate using a map. You could say that you go out map reading, not compass reading. So today I thought what may be interesting was to forget how all the training websites and videos say that you're supposed to navigate, and rather let's have a look how it's normally done in the real world, but still doing it safely. Today I think I'll go for a short walk up to Hawkswick Clowder, for no other reason as it's as good as any other place to go, and I'm not teaching on a course today, so I just thought I'd go for a walk. I would guess that most people will look at your map to see where you're starting from, and this could be a car park or the train station or just a lay-by at the side of the road. You know, maybe to show your friends where you're going to go. You know, we're here now, we're going to go to there and we're going to follow this route. You know, just to make it a bit more interesting. Now, from where I am now, it's really easy in this area because I know exactly where I am, because behind me these are marked as BS on an Ordnance Survey map. They're boundary stones. This is it here. So this is a boundary stone here. If you're not from the UK, boundary stones separate the area controlled by county parishes. They're the smallest section of government in the UK. You've got the government in London that controls the whole country. And then you've got the regions, and then you've got the counties, and it keeps going down and down until each county parish covers just a few square miles, maybe a few little towns or villages or whatever. And that's what these are. These separate their area. If you're from the UK, if county parish, just think Vicar of Dibley. And you'll know exactly what I mean. So I know exactly where I am, and I know where I'm going to. So what do we need to do in the real world to set about this route? Now, I did a video a while ago about the 5 Ds in navigation, which are things that you need to know about your route or a certain leg of the route, you know, a section, before you set off. If you haven't watched that video, which is highly interesting, so I suggest you do, the 5 Ds are distance, duration, direction, description, and destination. Okay, but once again, let's keep this in the real world. Let's not make today as if you're on a training course. As an example, if you're on one of my training courses, by halfway through the course, I would expect you to know the exact distance to within a few meters to where you're heading to. Also, the exact compass bearing. You know, but today we're staying in the real world. Now, most experienced hill walkers can get the 5 Ds just by looking at a map for a few minutes, or even less than that for really experienced people. And you know, they'll have a look, they'll work out the 5 Ds, and then they'll set off. So don't forget the 5 Ds: distance, duration, direction, description, and destination. But let's keep this really simple. I'll drop this onto your screen. So from here at the BS, the boundary stone, I'll walk up to Low Lineseed Head and then try and find a gate in the wall so that I can get up to Hawkswick Clowder. Now, it's about 2.5 kilometers from here, so it should take around half an hour. And after I reach the wall track junction, which is only 200 meters north of here, I'll just, you know, follow the track, which goes sort of right of north at about 25 degrees. So I'm going to walk through 3 walls, and after about 250 meters after the 3rd wall, the track will turn 90 degrees to the left, okay, and it's The good thing is about this, it's uphill all the way until the second wall, and after that it's quite flat. Now, I also did a video on collecting and catching features. Catching features are really important, even in the real world. It's something that tells you, it's something that catches you. It tells you, stop, it doesn't look right, something might have gone wrong. It doesn't mean to say you're lost, it just means to say stop, have a look at your map. So on this particular one, I'll drop this back onto your screen. As you can see, if I've gone too far and I've missed low line seed head, then I'll arrive at a fourth wall. And even easier to notice, I'll start walking downhill. So in the real world, in good visibility, there's normally isn't really a need to do a highly detailed breakdown of every part of the route. Normally it's just look at that, a brief look at the map, 5Ds, and off you go. So I don't need a compass before I set off, because I know, looking at the map, that I should walk uphill along a wall. That way is downhill, as you can see behind me, it's downhill, and this way is uphill. So I know that's north, that's the direction I need to take. So it's just time to put on my bag, my map, and time to set off. What can possibly go wrong? How many people have said that just before? No, let's not go there. So this is the track wall junction that I was expecting, and there's a gate. So as I was expecting it, I don't need to keep taking my map out and checking it. Now, if you remember, I said from here I need to go approximately right of north, about 25 degrees. So from the wall, 90 degrees is that way, 45 degrees, so 25 degrees, it's about that way. Near enough. I'm still walking uphill, so it's all good. So it's just a matter of carrying on until I get to the next track wall junction. Let's carry on and see what happens. This doesn't look right. I'm not sure. Now, I've just come through a gate here, but the problem is I've forgotten how many gates I've been through. We all do this. We're walking along and then we come to a place that makes us stop and think. You know, we're not lost. You know, we know roughly where we are. Now is the time to take out your compass and start to use it. So let's have a look. Hang on. Let me get my map. So here's my map of this area. Got a compass, so here we go. Now, I know that I'm on a track, because this is the track, and I know that I'm at a wall junction. So what I need to do is I need to take a bearing down the wall. Let's have a look. So here we go on my map. So I think I'm here. I'll drop this onto your screen. So I think I'm here. So let's take a bearing down the wall. So it should be 85 degrees. So let's have a look, let's check this. Yep, so that is exactly 85 degrees. So this is the third wall junction. If the bearing had been, let's have a look, 184 degrees, that would tell me that I was at the second gate. And if I'd gone too far, I'll drop this onto your screen, if I'd gone too far, the wall would have been going at 102 degrees. So that would have been the fourth gate. Before I carry on to Hawkswick Clowder, I think I'll go and find some limestone pavement to have a cup of tea on. There's lots of limestone pavement in this area. This is it. This is Hawkswick Clowder. So if you've never seen it before, this is what it looks like. It's quite a way to get up here, a fair few miles, but never mind. The good thing is, these type of rocks are called limestone pavement, and the best thing about these rocks is you can always find a nice place to sit, a limestone pavement. So it was definitely worth coming up here. Do you know why you can always find a comfy rock to sit on in limestone pavement? No? It's because there's carbon dioxide in the air. So So, fast forward over this bit. In this area, the rocks that you can see are mainly, as I said, limestone pavement. And during the last ice age, which was what, 30,000 years ago, and it ended at 10,000 years ago, this area was covered by glaciers, a large ice sheet that moved. And so it scraped off the topsoil, revealing the rocks underneath it, which is this stuff here. And when it rains, some of the carbon dioxide in the air is dissolved into the water, the rain. And this process is called carbonation. You might have heard of that, chemistry at school. So when the rain hits the ground, it's slightly acidic. It's a very weak type of carbonic acid. And the reason for my nice, comfy rock that I'm sat on is that carbonic acid can dissolve limestone, you see. As the rainwater runs down, the cracks between the rocks, it erodes the gaps between them. And some of the water is absorbed by the rock. And so it dissolves that little tiny piece of rock, very slowly over thousands of years, but it dissolves the rock. And this makes the gaps even wider. Now, so you end up with these deep gaps. Can you see this gap here while I'm having my cup of tea? This deep gap, this is called, what's it called? It's called a grike. So these gaps are called grikes, and the blocks between them are called clints. Okay? Stop this waffle before it gets out of hand. No, carry on. But it's not as simple as that. If you look at a lot of these clints, these blocks, like this one here, in fact, can you see this hole here? There's a delve there. Okay, so they have pits and grooves in the top. And what happens when it rains, the water will stick in they'll form little puddles in any indentations in the rock, which means that piece of rock gets dissolved even more. And this will continue over hundreds and thousands of years until the rain actually dissolves the rock all the way through, and you get a hole. You get holes in the rock. Sometimes though, that doesn't happen. Like this piece here, I'm not sure you can see this. What's happened here is there's been an indentation here, and the water has run down, dissolved it. But then it started flowing down the rock, so as well as dissolving it, it's also eroded it. You can see that on lots of these rocks. These large round shapes, by the way, hopefully you can see this large round shape. That's obviously been formed by falling water. So before the ice age, or maybe during the ice age, these rocks will have been underground, underneath the topsoil. So there may have been a cave above, and the water has fallen down and hit this and eroded this circular shape on these. So you've got clints and grikes. So anyway, the best thing about this area is limestone pavement. And the best thing about limestone pavement is that you can always find a nice, comfortable place to sit and have your sandwiches. Today, by the way, we've got egg and avocado with some pepper. Life is good. Let's stop the waffle. Right, I'm going to stop the waffle now. Let's get back to navigating. So the main thing about today, what happened is we went for a walk and everything was fine. We just walked up a track. We did become navigationally challenged, is that a good way of putting it, at one time, and we weren't quite sure where we were. So that is when we had to get our compass out and start checking the directions of the walls that we could see. And then as soon as we'd done that, we stopped being navigationally challenged and we knew exactly where we were. And from there we carried on up to here. So an important point, a sensible point, when you're walking in a group, somebody has to be able to do this. Somebody has to be able to navigate. You can't, when you come up, I haven't seen a single person up here all day. I'm literally in the middle of nowhere on my own. So it's not as if I can ask somebody for directions. There are no signposts. The only thing that you've got that knows the way is your map. Your map knows the way you should go. So somebody has to be able to read a map. And occasionally, you're not quite sure where you are on the map, so somebody also has to be able to use a compass. And if you go walking on your own, that person, the map reader and the compass user, that's you. As I said, today, I haven't seen a single person up here. So the only person I can rely on, I can't ask anybody, is me. I have to be able to navigate to get back from here. Jesus, it's 4.5 miles downhill to my car, but that's okay. I go for a walk. Anyway, so the main point is somebody has to be able to navigate in a group. And if you're walking on your own, you have to be able to navigate. That's really important. Anyway, thanks for watching.